maybe we should all see our family members more. Hello, people of the world and YouTube fam. My name is Kevin Jackson, and welcome to this latest episode of KLMFL Mangas Friendship and Love. So today, guys, I'm gonna be talking about a little bit about a trip that I took about 2 weeks ago to go see my uncle, and how the ramifications of that helped with the project that I had at work. So I got a phone call recently from my mom, and she was just basically talking about my uncle and how he's not doing too hard at the moment. And this was the uncle that I basically lived with until I was like 3 years old. Like my mom, she was a single mom, she was a single parent, and living on her own. And my uncle was like, no, like you should bring Kevin, and y'all should like live down here, in South OC. So I live with my uncle and my godmother in the house in the South OC, in like a place where there's basically no black people, right? It's literally only us, right? And this racism is vampant. I don't know about now, but racism definitely was out there back then, is what I've been told, because I was like 3. Anyway, and from the age of 9 months, they got me like they got a picture of me like using the computer. Like my uncle, he came from Jamaica, and he is like one of the smartest people that like I ever know. Like he got his private pilot's license, he's got his engineering, his electrical engineering bachelor's and master's. Like this man, and he's worked in like so many different like sectors of like technology. This man is like the jack of all trades. So literally, like he basically introduced me to computers. I kind of broke a few of his computers, like at that young age, like turning off the computer by pushing a power button, destroying the hard disk drive and stuff. So he had to he had to buy 2 new computers because of me, right? But he just taught me the basics, and that just developed and fueled my passion for technology to like where I am today. Electrical engineer here, working in the Midwest. So we kind of had a little strained relationship, I would say. There was things that happened just in the family, right? And we kind of like split into like one side of the family was, still talking to him, and the other side that didn't. But I talk to him now and again, just not as frequently as I used to, when I was a kid. So to learn that he wasn't doing too hot, and he's only in Orlando, it's only one nonstop flight with the Frontier Go Wild Pass. I was like, you know what? Let me see if I can make it over there. You know what I'm saying? So I checked like the night before for availability, and availability was there. And I was like, okay, let's go fly out, right? So I flew over there, flew to Orlando, like Friday night. And sorry, backstory with this too, this is I've been working on this project at work for like a couple months now, and like this thing has like not really worked. Like I've been doing everything that I can. I've been talking to like higher up people, about like senior level engineers about this. Also talking about like to the people that create the tools that we use, like for firmware design and stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, like I'm not getting this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm doing everything I can, and like we're all not like nothing's clicking. So basically, um that was going on, and I've been having like a lot of trouble with that. Like we had a training with like the tool people that like the guys that provide the tools for us to use on the software, and that kind of like reinvigorated my passion a little bit for trying to solve this problem that we had. Because I was taking a break from it for about like a month and a half, because I was like, well, I've basically done all that we can, right? Going back now, so I land Friday night, and then I go ahead and like speed over to where he is, because he's literally like on the other side of the state. So but that's like the closest airport to him. So I ended up going to his house, and then like I like literally surprised him. His garage door was open, and then I was like, hey, and then he looks, and then I'm like, hey, what's cracking? And then he looks, he's like, oh my gosh, get in. So I just rolled up on him. And we basically talked the whole day. It was literally just a 1 day trip. We talked the whole day. I literally got there at about noon, and then we talked until like 8 p.m. By like the time I had to leave. And I was just like, dang, like that's kind of crazy. And we talked about so many different things. We talked about just like the family members and how they all came to America, and just like a little bit about his like golden age of working for so many different industries and so many different companies. Um, and then just a little bit about like what's currently going on in the news, right? Like with the economy and the war going on and all that stuff. And it was just good to get like his perspective, because I haven't really had a long conversation or just a long interaction with him in so long, and it kind of remembered like how that I looked up to him. I looked up to him and like, not like I like idolized him, but just like, that was like the basis of like who I am today and like what I do today. So it's like it just really enlightening, and like it was kind of sad when I left. We kind of said our goodbyes. It was you know at least we're men, so we're not too we're not too emotional, but like I could just feel like like we're definitely gonna miss each other, and I plan to come back more frequently, because of that. But one thing that he said to me, because I told him my rundown of what I was dealing with and my problem, and he was like, "Hey man, just check the clocks. Check the clocks one more time. It's those damn phase lock loops. It's those PLLs, man. They screwed me over when I was younger." And I was like, I have been checking the clocks. And I was like, let me just go ahead and do this one more time. So I get to work on Monday, right? And I check out the clocks. I make sure that all the proper timing and stuff like that. I even separate all the clocks out. I'm just like, okay, I'm just gonna have separate bridges for everything. I'm gonna make sure that like I'm gonna make sure that my clocks are in tippity toppity shape, because I was like verifying my constraints, my timing and stuff like that. But I was like, let me just go a little bit deeper and like make extra sure, and that helped. That helped. Literally, I got the test project done that day, and then I got the real project done like 2 days later. It was crazy how like it spiraled into like success. And that's all because I literally just stopped by my uncle and talked to him. So honestly, guys, that's basically the message of this. All I got is that it's good to talk to your family members, and just see how they're doing, checking in on them, and then you might get something out of it, maybe not. But thank you guys for this episode, watching this episode of Campus Make Us Friendship and Love.